What up? What up? What up, y'all? I like to say, welcome to another episode of Just My Thoughts. All right. Cool. I'm like, already? Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Just My Thoughts. Um, I am your host, Cliff Hall, the good doctor. Look, y'all gotta, y'all gotta excuse me. Um, y'all gotta excuse me if what the heck? Yeah, y'all gotta excuse me if I look or I sound a little tired a little bit. I am. I'm a little tired. Yeah, y'all got it. Um, so look at here. What I need y'all to do, uh, what I need y'all to do is share, like, oh, I'm sorry, let me say it in order. Like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. I've been on a mission the past, I guess, 3 or 4 days trying to get more subscribers because I forgot that all the subscribers that I had originally, it didn't just transfer over because I got rid of that old page. Well, now I got to rebuild all of that over again. I didn't have a lot then, but I got to rebuild the little bit that I did have. So I ask that you all please be there with me and, let's just try to make this grow. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Um, Today's topic, loving yourself too much. Loving yourself too much. A lot of y'all probably say, how is that even possible? How is it possible to love yourself too much? You're supposed to love yourself. You are supposed to love yourself. You're supposed to love your neighbors. You're supposed to love the Lord. You're supposed to, love a lot of things, but you're supposed to love those things as you love yourself. So that tells you exactly, maybe you shouldn't spend all of that time loving you. Uh, um, how was y'all weekend? Mine was great. I'd like to thank everybody for the birthday wishes. I really, really, really appreciate them. Um, it was great. It really was. It was great. I had a good birthday. I chilled. I chilled. I did exactly what I started out to do, just to relax, just to chill out, to just you know not really do anything. Just chill, just chill. Uh, well, like I always do, man. Let's start this off with a prayer, and we're gonna jump right on into this. Uh, Lord, thank you for bringing us together for this occasion. Lord, thank you for another beautiful day. It rained on some people and it didn't rain on others, but you did what you saw fit, things that we probably have no idea about. So um, you are in control of all these things. You are the creator, the Alpha and the Omega, Lord. Lord, I ask that you forgive us all of our sins. Help us to become better people, Lord, and hopefully with these meetings and little topics and ideas and everybody's different opinions and all of that, we can put something together and formulate a plan and help us all to grow. I ask these things in your darling son, Jesus' name. Amen. What's up, Jerome? I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really and truly do. Um, I keep saying I'm old. Everybody else keeps saying, "No, you ain't old. You ain't old." Hey, I feel it. No, I feel fine. Um, man, I've been still looking at a few things to different things that they say you ought to do positive affirmations, like I said before. And it said, gave a list of 5 things that you should do every day going forward. And, um, and not in any order, but it says exercise. At least get you a good 30 to an hour of exercise in every day. I've been doing that. Went to the gym yesterday, went to the gym today. And I'm gonna keep doing it. I want to, you know, build myself up. Um, get my body healthy. Really, I'm healthy, but I get it healthy, healthy, healthy. Um, meditate. Says you should meditate. Um, it says that write down the things that you want to accomplish for that day. Um, it says take naps. Let's see, exercise, take naps, meditate, write down the things you want to accomplish. And number 5 is write down the things that you had problems with before, the issues you had, and then throw it away. And just like you threw it away, let it go. I was like, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I didn't have a problem with that at all. I didn't have a problem with that at all. So uh, I took a nap today. I went to the gym today. The things that I wanted to accomplish, I got those done. Um, took a nap. I, just, I did everything except write down the things that I have a problem with and then throw it away. I need to remember to do that before the end of today. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna write it down. I didn't meditate. I took a nap though. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't take a nap because I did take one of those. I took a good nap. So, um, well, here it is. I want to play this before I jump into the topic. I want to play this, man, because I thought this was good, y'all. So I need y'all to check this out. Longer than most people. Reason number 1, you operate on a frequency. I want to start this. That makes people either run toward you or run away from you. There's no middle ground with you, right? So your presence either draws them into a deeper version of themselves or it makes them uncomfortable with seeing who they really are. And God will not allow you to settle for somebody that runs. Reason number 2. 5 reasons God keeps spiritually gifted people single longer. 5 reasons why God keeps spiritually gifted people single longer. That's what he's talking about. You see through people's masks in the first conversation. So while everybody else is impressed by other people's words, you're actually reading their heart. And that gift makes dating exhausting because most people aren't ready for somebody who truly sees the real them. So God is protecting you from fake compatibility. Reason number 3, your calling demands everything right now. See, God is birthing something inside of you that is massive. And it's going to require you to focus all of your energy on that task. And the wrong relationship will split your attention. And God cannot allow that to happen right now. Reason number 4, you keep attracting people who want to use your gift, but not love your heart.
See, they don't want a real relationship. What they really want is your prayers because your prayer works. Your insight because it brings massive breakthrough. Your spiritual covering because you and God have a really close relationship. And He's protecting you from people that want to withdraw instead of deposit. Reason number 5, He's training you to recognize the real thing. So your person won't be intimidated by your gift. They'll be in awe. They won't try to manage your calling. Instead, they'll protect you and hold space so that you can fulfill it. But you had to experience the opposite of what that looks like. So when it comes, you know that it's the real thing. But listen, God didn't mass produce people like you. You are different. And He handcrafted you with a specific assignment. And He's preparing somebody who walks alongside you in that calling that won't distract you from it. So you're not hard to love. God just loves you too much to allow the wrong person to come in your life and derail your destiny. So if you caught this message, drop your biggest takeaway below in the comments. Share this video and make sure you follow.
Man, y'all, look here. I'm going to put that. I'm gonna see how to put it in the in the in the chat. But that was good. That, hey, God protects His, and you end up with people who come to use you. You get people who come to try to take away from your covering. You get people who try to manipulate you, move you away from, get you off, get you distracted, get you away from where you're supposed to be going. Um, you are a big you either people either are very, very, very attracted to you or very, very, very detracted to you because fake people can't stay in your space too long without you knowing. Uh, thank you. It was real good. It really was. It really was. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm gonna try to put that in the chat though. But that was real. Now, all right, y'all, let's get to work. Let me get to work. Let me land. All right, loving yourself too much, is that possible? Is loving yourself, is that possible? Is it really possible to love yourself too much? Some people say yes. Most people say no. You're supposed to love yourself. That's what everybody says. You're supposed to love yourself. That's what if you don't love you, who will? If loving me is wrong, I don't want to do right. All of the little things, that the little colloquialisms that people throw out there to continue what it is they have probably been doing. Uh, how about this? Tell me what y'all think. Can you love yourself too much? Is it possible to love yourself too much? Yay or nay? Is it possible? What y'all think, Chad? Tell me what you think. Is it possible to love yourself? What's up, bro? What's up? Is it possible to love yourself too much? Is it possible to love yourself too much? Y'all tell me. Tell me what y'all think. Is it possible to love yourself too much? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, y'all. Let me know in the chat. Is it possible to love yourself too much? Somebody gonna go first. I don't know who, but somebody is going to go first. Is it possible to love yourself too much? Well, I'll answer that question. Yes, it's possible to love yourself too much. Yeah, it's called being selfish when you love yourself too much. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself, but you shouldn't overly do it. You shouldn't get out of hand with it. Uh, you should not think that you are so much better than other people. So that's why you did it. No, because if you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else? I said that. I just said that. And that would be probably one of the top reasons for just about anyone to say, hey, I love me, because if I don't love me, nobody else will. And that's not true. But, and I'm going to back it up, because what happens when you love, no, unless the only person you love is you. Hey, that's all of that's the same. It is possible to do it, because this is what happens when all you do is love you, and that is very easy to do. It's real easy to get into just loving you. Very easy. When you go to thinking, well, if I don't do this for myself, nobody else will. You got to give them opportunity. Give someone an opportunity to. But because you love yourself so much, you jump on it, and you know, or you have these ridiculous standards that you set, and it might be hard for people to meet those ridiculous standards. I can attest to this, because I have been a person who set ridiculous standards, and I'm like, man, please, you got to be perfect to fool with me. This is back in the days, but then I let it down, and you know, it's nothing wrong with having a standard. There's something wrong with having ridiculous standards. You know what they say, you too good to save for your own good. But let me show y'all. Let me read. I like gloves. I don't know. Hey everybody, do you have any disposable gloves, plastic gloves, cleaning surgical gloves? No, we don't have any gloves, Mr. Gloves. So hold on, y'all. Hello, what up? Who? So what you heard? Oh, okay. Here, give me. Hold on. Give me 45 minutes. I'm in the middle of the show. Uh, yeah. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. My little brother. Um, we have different moms. His mom had a heart attack. Man, our prayers go up for Catherine Starks. Um, she's the mother of two of my brothers. Um, and yeah, I mean, prayers go up for the family. Seriously. All right, here we go. Trevor, people who always put themselves first are not willing to give to others. Well, that's the same thing with, you can't love yourself too much then. That means you shouldn't love yourself too much. That's a part of being selfish. But let me switch it. Let me show y'all how putting yourself first and always looking out for number one. This was talked about. Let me read this. 2 Timothy 3. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful. Oh, I just went through that. Unholy, without love, unforgiving. Hey, we all been through that. Slanderous, without self control, when all you think about is yourself. brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Pleasure. I'm gonna just do it for myself. I'm gonna go ahead. We doing a girls trip. I'm gonna do this because if I don't do it, nobody else will. Having a form of godliness but denying its power, have nothing to do with such people. Um, there you go, right there. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself within reason. There's nothing wrong with doing anything within reason, almost, as long as it's not illegal or something that's going to hurt someone else. But you can't put yourself so high on a pedestal that, or your needs so high above everyone else's that no one else matters. You shouldn't do that. Look at this. Let me hear what y'all got. 832-919-6009. 832-919-6009. Somebody call in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, you gotta, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. Don't get carried away. That's all. Just don't get carried away with it. Don't think that you are all you are all that in a bag of chips. You're supposed to love yourself. But what has happened now, people, they do what they want. They do what they want to do. Well, it's my money. I can do what I want to do with it. Yes and no. It's your money. Yes. You can do what you want to do within reason. Don't get carried away and think that you can just have the world. The world was that on the movie Scarface, he had that globe spinning around and said, "The world is mine." No, 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 no. Um, with everything, be mindful. Be mindful. I used to tell girlfriends of mine back in the days, hey, because they was always talking about they going on all these trips. And I get it. People want to get out and see the world. What I used to say was, if you're doing everything now, what do you leave for your husband to do with you? If you're doing everything now, what are you leaving for your wife to do with you? How awkward is the conversation where your husband or your wife say, "Hey, let's go here," and everything they tell you you've done already or been. There's no first. There's no first. Now, if you've been married multiple times, yeah, you kind of get a pass. Oh, here we go. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. What's up now?
Hey,
What up?
hey. So I'm just checking out your topic. Um, well, if you love yourself,
Too much.
if you love yourself
Too much.
the majority of the time, 99.9% of the time, you what we call a selfless individual.
Yes,
Um,
you will be.
there's and in fact, you're gonna be something else, a lonely individual, because if you have that kind of characteristic flaw, because that's what it is.
That's a character flaw.
That's a character flaw.
Uh-huh.
Because in what's happening now is that you have people that make babies and they have no intentions on being there for the baby, and that's both ways. That's the mother and the father, because they love themselves more.
Okay.
They want to do them. That's I'm doing me.
Your comment in the chat was no, because if you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else?
But when you said too much,
That's
because you have to love yourself before you can love someone else, but there's a limit to that. So to the extreme. That's what I mean. So
you can't be to the extreme.
If this, right. So if you at the point that you're making, then that's too much, because no one else matters. And there's a lot of people out there like that. They'll mess over their sister, their brother, their uncle, their mom, their dad. They'll beat anybody they can, as long as they're good.
That is right.
So that's a huge character flaw. And most of the time, people that have that, we recognize it right off, because they run through people like water running through a drain.
Well,
and then it's always something that somebody did towards them.
There you go. What somebody did to them. Everybody did something to them. Everybody did something to them. They never did. Well, you know what? No, they minimize the things that they've done and blow up the things that everybody else has done.
And most of those things that they minimize are huge.
Yes.
Because their character's flawed. They really don't see a big deal in it.
Okay. Question. Here you go. Here's the flip side to that coin then. Why are those people always usually in relationships? It might not last, but they're always in a relationship.
Because I'll tell you this. I'll give it this analogy. Those of us that like sweets, we can smell the chocolate if it's freshly made. We can smell the roasting of the nuts or whatever that's being put on there, and it's alluring to us. And once we get it, our teeth might ache because we ate too much. The stomach hurts. The weight rises. So they give that allure that I'm what you want.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you've been waiting for right here. But the truth is they're almost like a electric bill. They want to just drain you for whatever resource you have, be it money, be it your time, be it your body. They want to drain you.
Yeah. I can.
So those people that are like that, when you get stumped on by somebody like that, if you go back through their past, somebody might tell you, oh, they've been like that. Oh, she did the same thing to me. Or he did the same thing to me.
Well, man, like I said, all I can do is talk about what's right, what's wrong, true, false. That's it. More times than not, if you love yourself too much, if you do anything too much, it's going to become a problem. If you do anything too much, it's going to become a problem. If you lie too much, it's going to be a problem. If you steal too much, it's going to be a problem. If you sleep too much, it's going to be a problem. They're going to be late for work. If you late too much, it's going to be a problem. That's why when I picked this topic, I was just having a conversation. And I was like, bam, there you go. That's a good one. Because I figured the first thing people would say would be, well, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. No, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. There's a problem with loving yourself too much. That's just the truth.
No man is an island.
No man is an island. None.
And that love to self beyond anybody at every point, and no one else can get in it, is exactly what that is, an island.
Yeah, or loving yourself and giving someone else the scraps. Giving them the scraps. Yeah. Giving them the scraps of your love. That's a bad thing as well. You know what I'm saying? Love should be reciprocal. It should be reciprocated. It should be, I want to say 50-50, but it should be 100-100. I give you 100%, you give me 100%. Not, I'm going to give you what I got left after I get through loving myself. That's what you should not do.
And then being honest, and being just fair, A lot of those are learning curves in life, where they're learning curves and they're points of trust that's built upon in a relationship, be it friendship or romantic entanglement, whatever it is, when it comes to people. Now the problem is that regular, normal people, the way they see things, they understand that that's a process. So as it goes on, either it works or if it doesn't work, they begin to build that trust, build that openness, and things, you know, that 50% in the beginning can become 100% because they look out for you as much as you look out for them, and there's never an issue with that. It's other things that become a problem, outside things most of the time.
Well, tell me what you think about
The
this.
problem is,
Tell me what you think about this. People who love themselves too much usually are loners.
that's true.
You
I
know?
believe that.
Yeah,
I believe
usually
that
they're
because
loners.
you
They don't
burn-
have friends. They don't really have very many friends, and the reason they have, the reason that they give for not having friends is probably because I don't fool with people like that, or I like to be by myself. No, you're not made to be by yourself. You're not made to be alone.
Because most of the
Not saying you got to have a million friends, but not saying you got to have a million friends, but you cannot sit up here and say you've been on this earth this amount of any long limited amount of time, what have you, and you don't really have any friends. You can't, because you probably have burned bridges. That's what happens from loving yourself.
When you find people that are 50 plus and they don't have any friends and they don't have any close relatives that they're close to. Most of the time, it's a couple of things. Either those people, or those people are maybe people that are too open, so they get burnt a lot. And so after a while, it just hardens them a little bit, and they turn off the people. So more than likely, it's somebody that runs through somebody, or somebody that's been ran through emotionally,
Yeah.
Monetarily, So it's most of the time, if you're fortunate enough and you've seen a few things, you understand what you're dealing with when it comes to dealing with somebody that's so self-centered that they're willing to burn everything up just for the benefit of themselves.
Anytime a
Because I always
person,
say
hold on. Anytime a person does anything to an extreme, they are trying to compensate for something they are lacking in other areas of their life. That's right. That perfect. That's
I
good.
believe that wholeheartedly.
100%. That's why I said, is loving yourself too much? Is it possible? Yes, it is.
But it could be this. Now, this is where you get into the psychological part of it. It could be that person that's loving themselves too much and they're putting themselves first. It could be that they may be a little broken, because as they grew, the people that should have showed them what love was and showed them how to be loved and how it feels to be loved, they never gave that to them. So they got to a point where their shell got hardened, where they said, I'm just gonna focus on me and I'm gonna do what I need to do, because I know we all heard that before. And they turn into those people. No fault of their own.
How does a broken person teach someone else how to love someone?
That's a great question. It could happen, but the person that's broken has to be conscious of self, because they can teach in reverse of what they've been through and what they've dealt with.
Okay.
So, and at that point, if that person is actually paying attention to them, they can then begin to kind of help heal them while getting an understanding through this process that they're moving through towards and with them. So it's possible.
Well, here it is. Here we go.
Yourself.
Here we go. Well, they say if you want to know what your woman's gonna be like, in the future, look at their mama. If you want to know what the guy you're dating, what he's gonna be like, look at his dad. That's if mom and dad are around. Uh, but and a lot of times, hold on, and a lot of times, you can.
That's true. That holds
A
true.
lot of times you can see it, and you're like, whoa, okay.
But I found it to be more truer on the woman's side than the man's side.
Well, that's because that the reason.
Why?
Well, here, hold on. The reason why is because more times than not, you meeting the mamas and you ain't meeting daddies. Daddies ain't there. More times, daddy's not there.
What that could be true, and then also it could be more to add to that, because it could be a situation that I've seen this too, that daddies that just provide, they don't have no emotional attachment to their kids. They're not there emotionally for them, which most of the time they need more than money, that you put in their pocket or whatever.
Of course.
And so that right there within itself can create that whole scenario of someone that's self-centered,
Mhm.
because nobody has made that attachment and showed them how that works, and mama can't do it all. So sometimes you need the dad to do. But what I've learned, that in most cases where when you say look at the dad, if that dad wasn't what he should have been, then that person, depending on how they're structured, would do the exact opposite of what that dad did.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
I
if
know.
that dad wasn't a good father.
I know. I did. I said I made it my purpose to do different from what my dad did with me. Because my dad was serious, but but the one thing that my dad did do, and this was once I got older, I could talk to him about almost anything. He might make a joke about it, but you can talk to him about it. Um, my mom, I got my loving nature from my mom. Me and my mom, we get into it all the time, but I got my loving nature from my mom. I got my forgiving nature from my mom. Um, and I know a lot of people probably like, oh no, 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 no. But yeah, I did. I get my forgiving nature from my mom. My mom forgives anybody for anything. But
Yeah, that's my mom.
yeah, so and what happens, that's the difference between a giver and a taker. My mom is a giver. Um, I'm a giver. I'm always trying to help folks. Sometimes to my own detriment. Seriously. Uh,
Yeah.
but we have to understand that you have to start loving yourself just a little bit more, and that's one thing that I took in from yesterday, from my birthday. I was like, you know what? I got to start putting me first a little bit more. I got to start, putting me first more, so that I can feel myself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, you
people,
got to pour into yourself.
yeah, you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to love yourself some.
Right, but I want to tell you this. Got to add something to it.
You can't add nothing to mine. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. Go ahead.
No, but so you can do all of that, but because certain people will make you feel like that more than others.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not punish one for another.
Of course not.
Because a lot of times it gets to that point too.
It can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you get beat down.
Yeah.
And after you get beat down, you kind of on guard all the way around with everybody and everything.
Dude.
So let's remember not to punish one for another.
I remember, man, look here. When I was younger, I was hard. I was hard on women. I'm talking about I was hard. I was super. Trevor, you talk about how I am, how I was, but I'm talking about go back further. I was hard. I was hard. That's when I.
You was friends with Anthony, so I can imagine. Go ahead.
Yeah. Say, man, I don't think it's cool for you to be throwing that man under the bus on the internet. But I was hard, and I had some standards that were just unattainable. It was unattainable. But as I got older, I started giving too much. And when you give too much, you end up giving away yourself. You end up giving away yourself, and you have nothing left. So there's nothing wrong with loving, huh?
You wind up hurting.
Yeah.
You wind up hurting yourself.
You wind up hurting yourself. It's more so you hurt yourself more than someone else does. You hurt yourself. So there's nothing wrong. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. Just don't overdo it. Don't go to the extremes with it. That's all. Just don't go to the extremes with it.
You just gotta know that there's a balance, and that's the trick to it.
That's it.
That's the trick to it.
With life, with life,
right.
It's all in life.
Yeah.
With life, it's all about balance. Period.
Right. Yeah. And try, and whatever you do, try not to punish one for another, because that's the hard part a lot of times. Because when people show you who they are and you believe them, and sometimes they show you in the worst way, you kind of throwing yourself out to everybody because you don't want to deal with that. So it could have been something that was a great thing in the beginning, but they already had their agenda set, you know.
Well, to answer that question though, you say, why was I so hard on women? I was so hard on women because of what I've seen. And I said this before, because I've seen so much. I've seen women cheat. I've seen women, and I can't be mad at men because I ain't dating men. But I've
met what you see with men too, because they teach lessons too.
Yeah, they do. But I'm talking about the women.
Yeah, they teach.
But I'm talking about the women. So I have seen. Well, hold on, Trevor. Stop talking. So when I have seen, married women do some despicable things, and I'm not saying that men don't do them, but I've seen married women do some horrible things. I've seen women with boyfriends do some horrible things, using people, hurting them. I was watching something, and I mean, just to drive the point home further, I saw a little snippet thing, reel today, and this chick was talking about how her and her boyfriend were like breaking up. So she was gonna go to a basketball game, but the Lakers and Dallas Mavericks, and she looked up some of the players on the Lakers team and messaged one of the guys. The guy messaged her back and sent her a car for her when he got to Dallas. And sent a car for her. She went to the hotel room. While on her way to the hotel, she's on the phone with her ex-boyfriend. And I'll call you back. I'm going to hang out with some of my girlfriends. She went to the hotel and laid up with the dude that she didn't even know. And it's a lot of that. I've seen so much of that. And I guess because I was like, I didn't want to be a victim of that. But the very thing that you try to avoid being a victim of, you can end up getting yourself
controlled by.
Yeah, that's it. Right there. Yeah.
But
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
You being too hard about it,
mm-hmm.
or you giving over to it.
I was, and that's what I can say. I was too hard. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. I overdid it. So I had to learn how to dial that back. I had to learn how to dial it back and love more. I had to learn how to love other people more and not love me so much. It can't be just about how I'm feeling. It's got to be about how the other person is feeling as well.
Right. That's true. That's definitely true.
Oh, okay. I was trying to see. I thought you ain't had nothing to say on that one. Like, okay, should I drop? Hey, should I drop the mic? Should I drop the mic and walk off? Yeah.
No, we live and we learn.
We live and we learn.
We learn.
We live and we learn.
If we're lucky, because some people they can do the same thing over and over and over again, and then even seeing what they've seen, they come back and they got the same exact reasoning for their action.
Same problem, different day.
Yep.
Same problem, different day. Same problem, different day.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You know.
Yeah. Well, glad you're not so hard on them now that it's just.
Say, man, I ain't been hard on them in a minute, bro. You know that. I know, contrary to what you might believe, I have not been hard on women for a long time.
No, well, you and I just had a conversation, so I know you've grown from certain things.
Yeah, of course.
And we in a conversation that we've had, that we both know where it was and what happened, what it was.
Well, like I said, man, if you do things to the extreme, understand that there's a good chance it's going to turn around and bite you in your behind. Just know that. You got to understand that it is going to turn around and bite you in your behind. Oh, here we go, another. Talk to me. Jerome. What's going on?
How you doing, man? Happy belated birthday.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, sir. I was calling because the question I asked about you being so hard on women, and I really appreciate you being forthcoming in your comments on the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I saw a lot of the same things that you saw.
Right.
But I said to myself, first thing I said, well, I'm not going to be that type of person. And then the second thing was, what does that have to do with me?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when you start seeing flaws in other people and you see what brings other people down, I think that should make you a more observant person as you navigate through the world. But it seems like for a lot of people, they get angry, they have a lot of animosity about things. And what happens is you start creating this existence to where you harden yourself so much to where you put people off. But then when you fall for somebody, you can't recognize what's really going on because you harden yourself so much. You go to the other extreme and you being extra soft.
Yep.
And that's why when I said you go from one extreme to another, it's like one person can love themselves too much, then you have somebody else that doesn't have any self-esteem. So the truth is actually somewhere in the middle.
Yep. Balance.
And that clip that you were playing earlier, where did you get that clip from? Was that a pastor, or was that somebody that was just, a speaker, or where did you get that clip from?
I think he was a pastor, I believe, but like I said, I'm going to share it on my page. I'm gonna share it on my page. And then what I'll do is I'm going to I'll see about actually just go on my Facebook page and you can get it because I just did it. So
Because if he didn't say anything wrong,
mhm.
but I think he missed something that's very valuable,
What's that?
which is this, and it kind of ties into what I'm saying. The real problem sometimes with spiritually gifted people is that they forget that they are dealing with people who aren't on their level.
Hmm.
And so because they are so, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but they're so forthcoming that it puts people off and it makes them unrelatable, right?
Hmm.
Whereas if you're somebody, even though you have that spiritual foundation, that spiritual base, it doesn't mean that you have to go around like you're somebody like you're Jesus or somebody that is trying to, put your beliefs on people. Just be someone who lives in the moment. And I think that's really the essence of the point I'm trying to make. You don't have to love yourself too much. You don't have to not have any self esteem or care about yourself. Just live in the moment and respond to life accordingly.
Hmm.
You don't have to be so hard on women, but you don't have to be so nice either. Just be somewhere in the middle. And I think that for a lot of people, they think that it's one way or the other. When the truth is that that middle ground is where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to love yourself, and there's nothing wrong with loving yourself so much, be too much. But at the same time, you still have to save space to love other people. The crazy part about it is that sometimes with people, they think that, and I've seen this, they think that if you have a certain air about yourself, that you're like conceited or you're arrogant, but you just love yourself and you're proud of who you are and how you exist. But because you can't see that, that's not my problem. That's your problem.
It's a whole bunch of that
And
that's out there.
yeah, and you said something earlier. I can't remember, but I think the question was, um, why do people who love themselves find themselves in relationships?
Why I
And
said why are they? I
last
say
week,
ain't it funny that
yeah,
they're always in relationships.
yeah, and I think last week, I think it was Alicia who said that she loves men who are confident,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That's part of it. You love when you love yourself too much or you have a high self esteem, you become confident. So yeah, people are going to be drawn to you because you're confident. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to go around like feeling like you're less than somebody or even better than somebody. You just be who you are and you be confident in that role. And if you can do that, you'll be okay.
I can go along with that. Um, I can also um, what happens, like I said, and I knew that to go back to what you were saying at first about why I was hard, and because I went the opposite way instead of saying, "Hey, man, that ain't even none of my business." And who am I to
Yeah.
judge? How can I judge everybody for just what I'm seeing? One or two or three or four or 500 people doing. You know, every tub sits
Yeah.
on, and I had to understand every tub sits on its own bottom. So everybody ain't the
Right.
same. So
Right.
you just have to let the person that whoever you're dealing with do whatever it is they're going to do. And if you either want to deal with it or you don't. Period. That's it. And
Right.
you leave it,
Right.
whatever it is, you leave it right there. And that's
Right.
it.
And
That's
that's one
where
of the reasons
that's
why.
where I'm at now. But that's 55 years of learning.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I clarify sometimes on the show that for me, unless you're mad, you're not really being cheated on. So if you're going around being angry and bitter at people because you feel like somebody was cheated on and they were never married, then you're missing a point. Because when you're young, and it's easier to say this now because we're older, when you're young, we're all learning life. We're all experimenting. We're all going through things. And I don't think that it's fair to judge people a certain kind of way when they're young, because oftentimes they don't know any better. They're just living life. And you're sitting around, not you, but just people in general, angry and bitter at somebody or a group of people because they don't know what it is that they're doing, then how is that going to work for you? How is that going to benefit you to be angry at somebody who doesn't really fully understand what they're doing?
You talking about like being mad at a retard?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. You know, you being mad at somebody who, in some cases, might have mental illness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you, and I hate to get off the topic, but have you ever been talking to somebody and you look into their eyes and you can see that everything just ain't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah.
And this goes back to, man, even, you know, when we were kids,
Mm-hmm.
growing up, there were some people you meet them and it's like, something's not right with this person. And or they'll tell you things and you know everything that they're saying is not true. It's like, who are you trying to convince? And I think it's that perception that's what separates some people from others, right?
Right.
And one of the things that I was very fortunate to experience was, before I really got into relationships, even before I grew up, I had a real good sense of having conversations with people and drawing conclusions and making observations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you learn a whole lot by listening, and you learn a whole lot by observing. And it got to a point where I couldn't even be upset when certain people did certain things because I've seen it before, right?
Right.
I said, you know what, this person, and I know you have too, this person reminds me of this person. I already know what they're about.
Yeah.
You can see through people a lot of times, but what happens is, for some, you ignore that intuition and you roll the dice because you want to be in a relationship or you want to be in love or whatever. And what happens is that it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. Now all of a sudden you're angry and you're mad, when the reality is that it never really had a chance to prosper from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. You were doing something you ain't had no business doing in the first place. Yeah. Because you already knew that it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't supposed to. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna catch a chicken and an eagle together. Not hanging out, being buddies. It's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
It's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Man, I so appreciate you calling in, dude. Get up out of here.
Yes, sir, man. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, bro. All right, y'all. All right. Man, look out. I appreciate everybody for stopping by Just My Thoughts tonight. LOL. Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and saw that everything wasn't there? Oh, you laughing at what I'm talking about. Yes. Look out, y'all. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Thank you. I can't say it enough. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for the participation. Hey, let's keep the numbers growing. Like I said, man, if y'all would, please, before y'all get out of here, subscribe, like, share, please. Let's get some more people in here. We have some real good conversations. Like I said, if you all got something that you all would like to talk about, Put it in my inbox, y'all. Please put it in my inbox. Peace.